alumni, and friends of Tuskegee University. First of all, I want to say that Alma Mater is alive and well. Our financial position is strong and moving in the right direction, one phase at a time. Our statement of financial position from our auditor's report reveals that we had net assets of $264,751,225 in 2019. In 2020, we had net assets of $264,950,768. Our endowment is back up to $157 million. And when we get the paperwork for the Department of Education Loan Forgiveness Program, we will have an additional $10 million less in cash outflow, of which 37% will be a reduction in operating expenses. This means that our total indebtedness will drop from $115 million to $317,000, and our financial ratios will be above average. Yes, like all other organizations and institutions of higher learning, we have had our challenges during this pandemic period. But we have moved from survival to recovery and now on our journey to creating a new narrative for our beloved Tuskegee University. We are grateful that we have not lost any students that we know about during this period. While we have put our bid in to become a vaccination site and have had individuals trained, we have not issued a mandate for anyone to take the vaccination at this time. We are continuing to educate and provide information so that our stakeholders will be able to make informed decisions on their own. We are continuing to test on campus, and we are analyzing the samples on campus as well. Yes, we had to rent housing space in Auburn to accommodate the guidelines of COVID-19 in terms of social distancing and other management protocols. But we are working to get that done and get our students back on campus. At its annual meeting a few weeks ago, the Board of Trustees approved $3.2 million for renovation work on student housing projects. While these renovations will not get our students back in the spring or the fall, barring any unforeseen difficulties, they will be completed and ready for the spring of 2022. We are assessing deferred maintenance issues at this time, including the Kellogg Conference Center. While student housing is our #1 priority, Armstrong Hall is also a priority to upgrade labs, etc., HVAC systems on campus, as well as infrastructure underground. The field house and dressing rooms at the athletic complex are far beyond need, as well as the complex in general. We have developed a master plan for addressing these priorities, and our plan is to address them in stages, but consistently, one strategic step at a time. Work is continuing with the Macon County Community Partners Task Force. This has been a significant effort in pulling all community constituencies in Macon County together in support of the greater good of the entire community under one umbrella. The overarching challenge is, of course, COVID-19 and those elements of the pandemic that affect the entire community. More than 10,000 lives in Alabama have been lost to the virus since March of 2020. The major theme of the meetings in the past month has been the dissemination of verified information to assist citizens in making informed decisions about the vaccine. The task force has asked leadership of the municipalities in Macon County to continue enforcement of the Safer at Home ordinance beyond the April 9, 2021 date issued by the governor's update. The president of Tuskegee University is a member of the leadership team and serves as facilitator with the task force. We have not opened campus yet for unauthorized visitors, and we are still doing temperature checks at the gate. Additionally, as part of our continuing mitigation strategies to help stop the spread of COVID-19, Tuskegee introduced the GuideSafe app, which is a platform that promotes testing and self-reporting to assist with making informed decisions about an individual's health. Students, employees, consultants, and third-party vendors are required to complete the health check before entering campus, before going to classes, and before going to events or activities. In terms of on-campus testing and results, 85 students were tested last week with no positive results. 11 faculty staff members were tested with no positive results. This is an indication that we are doing the right things, but we are a bit concerned that the governor's statement indicating April 9. We want to continue to wear masks and continue to do mitigation efforts in this regard. Some of you participated in our focus group sessions for the university's strategic plan. It is a comprehensive and coordinated effort that involves all of our stakeholders. The process is collaborative, inclusive, transparent, and the goals are to create opportunities for deep listening and inclusive engagement and involvement. A series of workshops, focus groups, interviews, surveys, and other outreach efforts over the course of the strategic planning process have taken place. This strategic plan will be a framework intended to guide the university's advancement over the next 5 years as we continue to build upon and increase Tuskegee's regional, national, and international distinctiveness and recognition. The plan will serve as our roadmap for the future. The plan has 7 pillars that we will work on during this period. They are academic excellence, world-class faculty, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship, advancement in infrastructure and resources, athletics, student experience, community engagement, and strategic partnerships. We continue to strategize and review tactic decisions to improve the university as it requires adapting to new realities and focusing as we work together effectively. Currently, the team is working on goal setting, which will be the final process prior to presenting it to the Board of Trustees in June. We made budget in terms of our enrollment, with 2,611 students enrolled for the spring semester. This is less than the 2,747 we had in the fall. The fall enrollment includes 482 new freshmen and 51 transfer students. But our numbers are always lower in the spring, and we anticipate and budget for that. The enrollment management team is geared up for the fall, and we look for slightly increased numbers in our new freshman class, even though we are challenged again because recruitment is limited due to high schools not being open and activities not taking place for career fairs. Nonetheless, we have moved to a new technology system which will help in this regard. The on-campus internet system is in the process of being upgraded. A $1.5 million appropriation from both the Southern Company and the Scott Funds made this possible. We did have some challenges with our hybrid and virtual systems this semester, and the upgrade will rectify that problem. The upgrade will remove all dead switches, replace wiring, and will result in a much improved internet experience for our students, faculty, and staff. Our faculty are continuing to engage in scholarly endeavors and have been successful in obtaining grants and contracts to the university. The university received more than $40 million through these efforts over the past year. One such initiative is the $2 million grant from the Department of Defense for a Center of Excellence in Aerospace Science and Engineering. Additionally, our fundraising staff has raised a total of $11.6 million, excluding the Mackenzie Scott gift, compared to $4 million during the same period a year ago. The gain in fundraising receipts was driven primarily by a $5 million gift from Stephen Feinberg, which was facilitated by trustee and alumnus Greg Nixon. A gift from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation of $1.5 million to support the public health initiative relating to the university's COVID-19 response was also received. The Gates Foundation has already added an additional $375,000 to the original award to support research and material mortality in the Black Belt counties of Alabama. I also want to thank all of you who participated in my mini campaign last December. This campaign generated more than $400,000 to the university. Thank you so very much. You will hear more about these during our business this weekend. We are also in conversations with Cargill, Rodney Bryant at Microsoft, Apple, Nike, and Google regarding fundraising opportunities. Our women's basketball team ended the year with a 12-1 regular season. They are ranked number 16 in the Women's Basketball Coaches Association poll and were invited to participate in the NCAA Division II Regional Championship playoff. The team played in Tennessee but lost 77-64, but just the opportunity to go to the playoff is an honor in itself. The coaches and staff are to be commended for keeping our student athletes safe and healthy during this pandemic period. Only one student in this group had to be quarantined. We are planning hard for an exciting football season, which will include a Labor Day game, the Red Tails Classic with Fort Valley State University. This will be in an ESPN-sponsored televised live event at Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. We have also reinstated the Turkey Day Classic with Alabama State University to be played on Thanksgiving Day. Since we were unable to play football last fall, the entire Tuskegee University family is looking forward to this exciting season with the SIAC. As a part of the student success phase of our quality enhancement plan, we have identified a person who will serve as manager of student employment relations to assist in planning the interviews for jobs this fall. I want to say again that alumni are very important to Alma Mater, and we appreciate all that you have done, all that you are doing, and all that you will do. You are encouraged to work with us to create an even better opportunity for our students. Thank you for your kindness as we work together to accentuate the positive and remember the legacy as we enhance and create a new narrative that will positively impact the lives of our students and safeguard Tuskegee University's future. And please, let's try to keep our dirty laundry in the house. We are only hurting ourselves when we do otherwise. Thank you so much, and as most of you know, I am committed to this institution and delighted to share the Tuskegee experience with all of you. We are better together.
Tuskegee University is among 8 historically black colleges and universities to receive millions of dollars to develop and deliver COVID-19 testing on campus.
It's a real collaboration between Thermo Fisher and Tuskegee. Thermo Fisher is providing all of the test kits and reagents for us to be able to test for the virus on campus.
It's called the JUST Project, named for Ernest Just, pioneering scientist and one of the founders of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Through the program, Thermo Fisher hopes to make available more opportunities for testing in African American communities. What's more, the university will be able to run over 500 samples daily and turn results around in 24 to 48 hours.
Putting the testing resource in a place like Tuskegee University not only serves the university population, it serves Macon County and other black belt counties who also have the lack of testing as a severe issue.
Black and brown communities are disproportionately affected by COVID-19, and with the cold and flu season upon us, testing and knowing your status is key. Tuskegee will be using the gold standard for diagnostics, the reliable PCR test.
When you get a positive result from a PCR test, you are sure that that is a positive. And when you get a negative result, you are sure that that's negative, and that's just as important. We have so many asymptomatic carriers. We do not want them out there thinking that they're negative and continuing to interact and not taking the precautions of being in quarantine when they really are positive.
And that's not all. During this pandemic, Tuskegee has been leading in the area of diagnostics. The university has been producing the viral transport media on campus for months.
We started making test kits, which we could do, to service the community and then pass those out to the local health authorities in order to be able to supply the needs of the community.
Over 3,000 vials have been created on this campus and not only distributed to our campus environment, but to other black belt counties.
Tuskegee will be able to run the tests on campus. But for the program to be successful, the community must have trust. Medicine and minorities have a difficult history. That's why Tuskegee is committed to moving forward with ethics and transparency at the forefront.
Because we understand that with this history, especially if there's going to be an inoculation or immunization coming out, our community is not going to hear and want to go and take that unless they can be sure that it's something that's going to be helpful and not detrimental.
And so just being on Tuskegee, what we're calling holy ground, that's in our minds every day as we move forward. Our job here as a scientist and director of our Center for Biomedical Research is to make a case over a number of years that we're ethical, we do right research, but we are going to bring it back and that you can trust us.
Greetings again, everyone. Before I start answering questions for you this afternoon, I do want you to know that Dr. Ronald Rochon from the class of '95 will be our convocation speaker on Sunday morning, and he donated his entire honorarium to a student at Tuskegee University who is in need. So I just wanted you to know that prior to Sunday morning.
Dr. Morris, we have a question. How is Dr. McNair doing? Please give her our loving regards and prayers.
Thank you, and I will do that. We heard from Dr. McNair about 3 weeks ago, and she was progressing well out of the hospital, but not out of medical facilities. And that's the last report we have on her, and we do wish her well, and we will extend your best wishes to her.
Will the June Board of Trustee meeting be open to the public via Zoom?
No, the board has not decided to do that as of this point, and so that one will not be open.
Please clarify the rationale to have the 2021 commencement at Crampton Bowl.
I was expecting that one. As you know, we haven't had commencement since 2019, and so we had several classes that wanted to walk across the stage. In an effort to accommodate all of those individuals, we decided to move to a larger venue. There are about 1,200 students. There are about 1,200 students who are expecting to graduate. So Crampton Bowl will accommodate those students plus 4 family members and the other individuals who are required to attend commencement convocation. That's the reason for the change to Crampton Bowl. And 2, we will be able to socially distance and provide all the other protocols regarding COVID.
Please tell us about the plans for Homecoming 2021.
Unfortunately, we haven't done any planning for homecoming. We are looking forward to have at least a face-to-face. We don't know how yet, but that decision will be made within the next few weeks. We wanted to get through the commencement planning prior to opening up for those discussions. I understand there are no other questions, so thank you so much for your support, for your questions, and for your love for Tuskegee University.